chip on the left hand side. Pass the dough chip on the left hand side. It a go bun.
Give me the music, make me jump and jump.
It a go done.
Give me the music, make me
Jano.
jump and jump.
It was a cool and lonely, breezy afternoon. How does it feel when you got no food? You could feel it 'cause it was the month of June.
Here we are at the supposedly 420 festival. The crowd is thickening somewhat extremely, and I must say that, as you can tell, there are plenty of loving and suggestive actions, which I will not suggest. How do you believe? What do you?
Hugging.
Okay, how do you feel about this festival?
Suggestive.
Although you are smoking a cigarette, I must say.
I'm not smoking anything, actually. I have not smoked anything, but I just feel like this holiday suggests love and peace and loving among our UC community, you know?
Fantastic.
420 yet?
Indeed, the infamous Santa Cruz 420 experiences not only expresses free love, but the support for the legalization of marijuana and the subsequent pot bill this November.
So, how do the two of you feel about the legalization of marijuana?
We gotta legalize it right now.
What is your stance on the legalization of marijuana?
I'm all for it, I guess.
Have you heard of the initiative that's going up in November about legalizing marijuana?
Yes, I have, and you know, I hope it passes, but you know, then it will be seen as less of like a drug and more of, you know, something that's can actually be good for people.
Well, okay, personally, I mean, it's a controversial subject, and I see pros and cons. I personally think it'd be a good idea as a weed smoker, but I mean, I think they should do it and that it would work itself out, but at least give it a try. It could it could solve a lot of problems, but I mean, it could also cause problems in another sense.
Do you have any idea of what that would do possibly to the Northern California areas?
No.
Indeed, indeed.
And did you know there's a vote about it in the upcoming November election? How do you plan to vote?
I'm not a California citizen, but I will become one and vote just for that.
I'll plan on voting for legal.
Do you know of the legislature that's coming up in November?
Kinda.
So we're here with a Santa Cruz local for 35 years. Can you tell me, sir, your stance on the legalization of marijuana?
I am pro legalization of marijuana. Marijuana, cannabis, is a plant that grows out of the ground. Jah gave it to us to keep us happy.
Indeed.
Could you tell me a little more about these buttons?
The badges. What we're trying to do here is basically just inform everyone that in November we'll be voting to legalize marijuana and just hopefully inspire them to vote yes.
Do you know anything about the legislature in the fall that is it's on the ballot for?
Sure, yeah, there's going to be an initiative which we got 700,000 signatures for, I think way more than you need in half the time it takes or something, because everybody in the state wanted to sign up for this initiative to legalize marijuana. We get to vote for it in November. I don't know if it'll pass or not, but I think it's
well, that's definitely what's all on our minds. Thank you. Indeed, the migration of musicians is somewhat intense. There seems to be more and more every second. It's almost as if the sound is bringing people to here. So, although there are a variety of people here for the historic event, only one opinion appears to be unanimously agreed upon. We certainly heard in the university's policy that this is an unsanctioned event. But is there any real voice of reason at this time of season? Here we are with Jesus. Fantastic, as we can see, the reincarnation himself. Let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the legalization of marijuana, Jesus?
You know, I kind of appreciate the current state where it is right at the moment. We're not getting hassled. We're not getting it from corporations. We're just getting it from the common pot grower, people we know.
Exactly. So you understand the implications of legalizing marijuana at it may deficit in Northern California areas specifically?
Well, I'm pretty stoned. I mean, I don't know what you just said, but you're looking good, though.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. So what is your stance on the legalization of marijuana this fall?
I support it. I think it could be good for the state, the government and the people.
So you think possibly government growth and maybe even almost corporate infrastructure in marijuana?
I definitely think so. I think right now it's starting out small, but it's only going to monopolize from there. So it's definitely going to be an industry.
Indeed, indeed. And your stance as well, sir?
I think that the California state government doesn't really have another option as far as anything that will substantially help our budget crisis.
So indeed, it may pull us out of this possible depression that we're in.
I don't know if it'll pull us out, but it'll get us moving in the right direction at least.
Fantastic. Obviously a great idea. As you can see, it is time, and with the time comes it seems as if the crowd is on fire. I am not exactly sure how to explain this, but there are bubbles of sorts. I'm not really sure how those are formed exactly, but there's plenty of marijuana within the vicinity. Although this may not be a sanctioned event, there is no doubt that it becomes amazingly popular amongst the culture of U.S. and Santa Cruz. For Pierce Crosby, reporting live, BSN News. A cultural gathering, to say the least. Rain or shine, these motivated members of the community are definitely stoked about 420 and the first pot legislature initiative this fall. Potheads or not, these folks undeniably know how to enjoy a sensational afternoon.
Working 9 to 5.